Hello, my name is Shane Terry, and this is Tennis News Updates. The stage is set for the 2024 WTA Finals, which is taking place in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. The field consists of the 8 players who have earned the highest number of ranking points. This year, a new rule was implemented where slam champions are guaranteed entry even if they are not ranked within the top 8. It's a very exciting group of players, and it's been a very long year, so I know a lot of these players probably are just ready to get this season over with, but before they can do that, they have a lot of ranking points to play for, and of course they want to win the last tournament of the year. With that being said, we have the purple group, which consists of world number 1 Arynasabalenka, number 4 seed Jasmine Paolini, number 5 seed Elena Rybakina, and number 7 seed Qinwen Zhang. Sabalenka has had an amazing season. She's now number 1 in the world, and rightfully so. She won the Australian Open in January at the beginning of the year. She also won the US Open, and she's had an incredible couple of months, starting at the US Open series where she came back. She struggled a little bit, but then she really found her footing in Cincinnati, and she was able to carry that momentum throughout the end of the season. So she's really in prime position to, finish the year strong and potentially take home the number 1 ranking. We have Jasmine Paolini, who comes in as the number 4 seed. She has a very interesting story because she's been around for a very long time. She's now 28 years old, and we consider her probably a late bloomer. I didn't really hear much about her until maybe like last year, because that's when she really started to make headway onto the tour. And this year it's just been, she's just skyrocketed to the top. Her good results this year, she won the tournament in Dubai, which is a very strong, it's a Masters 1000 event. So it's a very strong field that assembled there. She also made the finals at Wimbledon and the finals at the French Open this year. We move on to Elena Rybakina, who she's a bit of a mystery because she hasn't played much this year. Her last match she played actually came at Wimbledon, which was where she lost to Krejcikova in the semifinals. But Rybakina is such a talented player. You never know what you're gonna get from her, but when she's on form, she could be anybody. So you just never know what you're gonna get from her. She's won Wimbledon in the past. So, look for her to make some noise and do something big here if she can get her game together. Then we have Qinwen Zhang, who has come so strong this year. She's shown her potential in the past, but she really hasn't been able to put it all together. And this year we finally get to see, where she really can take it, and she can go even further, I believe, if she's able to continue on this pace and continue developing her strengths. Just to speak to some of her good results this year, she won the Olympic gold medal. She also made the finals at the Australian Open this year, and she's played really well in Asia. She's made a couple semifinals. She won the title last week in Tokyo, so she's coming into Saudi with a lot of confidence and momentum. She just struggles, I feel like, when it gets to, Sabalenka has been a real tough opponent for her, but she played her really tough in Beijing. So if she's able to put it all together and get used to the conditions, and mentally be there for these big matches, she could definitely make some headway into this tournament. Now, so they're all in the same group, so they'll play each other, and whoever has the best record out of the 4 players, the best 2 will advance to the semifinals. So just looking at this group, I want to say Sabalenka and Zhang are the favorites to get through to the semifinals. It's just very tough to tell because, this is the top 8 players in the world, so anyone can really win. But coming in, speaking to the form, I feel like Zhang and Sabalenka are the favorites to get through to the semifinal in this group. So then we move on to the orange group, which consists of world number 2, Igaswiatek, who has also had a great year. She's won the French Open again this year. And she's always just very consistent with results, just winning week after week and, getting to those final Sundays and playing for the tournament. She has established herself at the top of the game as one of the best. And, always look out for Swiatek, to do something when she comes into the last tournament of the year. She is also the defending champion here, so she'll definitely want to, make good on her result from last year. Then we have cocogauff, who has had a very interesting year. She made the Australian Open semifinals. She made the semifinals at the French Open. So she's had a very solid year, but to, her standards, she probably would have wanted to perform better. She did not win any of the slams this year, so she probably looked at that as a disappointment. But she still managed to find her way at the WTA Finals, so nothing to be too upset about. Coco was able to find some good form in Beijing a couple weeks ago where she won that event. And she was really tested. She also played really tough against Sabalenka and Wuhan, where she probably should have won that match, but she made a lot of double faults, so that really contributed to her losing that match. She definitely looks like she's hitting her forehand better, week by week. So if she's able to get the forehand going and really limit the double fault, she's always going to be a threat. She's in this group with Swiatek, which is really tough because Swiatek, as we know, she has won like 10 or 11 matches against Coco at this point, and Coco's, really struggled against Swiatek in the past. So probably not the most ideal to be drawn with Swiatek in this group, but we'll see how things progress. Then we have Jessica Pegula, who's also had a very interesting year. She's won a few titles. She played really well in Toronto to win that title, which is a Masters 1000 event as well. And, she made the finals at the U.S. Open. She played Sabalenka really tough there. So, Pegula is definitely another player who can make a lot of noise here if she's able to be aggressive and be consistent on her serve. Her serve is not the strongest portion of her game, but if she's able to get a high percentage of her serves in, then she can definitely do some damage. I'm not sure exactly how the courts are playing here in Riyadh. I keep saying it wrong. Don't come for me for that. But definitely plays a big factor in, these matchups because the court speed and the way that the ball bounces, these variables are, crucial to, how a player can perform in different conditions. And also the fact that it's indoors, you don't have to battle with the elements. So, that also plays a very big part in who is able to take advantage of the condition. And then we have the wild card, Barbara Krejcikova, who was able to get in off the strength of her winning Wimbledon this year, which came out of nowhere because she really has struggled throughout the whole entire year. But then she came to Wimbledon and just won it out of nowhere. So you just never know on the WTA. Anything can happen. After Wimbledon, she really hasn't done much. It's been a struggle for her, and she also has some injury concerns coming in. So it's very tough to know where she's gonna land or, how she's gonna perform because she's just such an unpredictable player. You just never know what you're gonna get from her. But when she's able to put everything together and, play the way that she knows that she can play, then she could really beat anybody. We saw her beat Rybakina at Wimbledon. And, just the way that she was able to return those serves and just take the ball early, like, that's what I noticed about Krejcikova's game that really, allows her to win these big matches and, play that style of play. She takes the ball really early, and that's one of the things that I admire about her game. So if she's able to get her footing and, find some form here, she could definitely do some damage, but you just never know with her. So as it stands, I want to say that Swiatek is a favorite to go into the semifinals. It's hard to say with her as well because she hasn't played since the U.S. Open. She's had some personal issues going on. She hired a new coach. So you just never know really what you're going to get when you haven't played, you know, in months. But Swiatek is a champion. She knows, you know, how to win, even without playing a lot of matches. And all it takes is really one good match to get your footing, and you just never know. So Swiatek, I feel like, is still a favorite to get to the semifinals, and cocogauff would be the second favorite for me to get through. But like I said, you just never know what could happen with these matches. It's the top 8 players in the world, and everyone is capable of winning. So just one last thing I wanted to talk about in regard to the WTA Finals that makes it so exciting is that there's also the battle for number 1. We have that whole conversation. Now, a lot of people, when it comes to rankings, they don't really, it's not really a huge conversation. Like, it is a part of the conversation, but it's more so about winning. Like, because you're not going to have the ranking if you don't win the matches. So we do have the potential of Sabalenka and Swiatek matchup where it comes down to who's going to end the year number 1. And as of right now, Sabalenka is in pole position to finish the year as number 1. She has an 1,000-point lead over Swiatek as it stands coming in. So with that, Swiatek would have to defend the title to even have a chance to retain. If Swiatek loses a match here, you know, Sabalenka pretty much has retained it. So, I mean, it is what it is, but, you know, we just have that interesting thing to add to the mix of it. The last tournament of the year, I know these players are ready to get this going and, you know, get their off-season started. And already, you know, they'll have to get ready for the next season, which starts soon. So they don't have much off time. But before that, we have this exciting event here. And you guys just let me know what you guys think of the draw, predictions that you might have, or just thoughts on the WTA in general. Just would love to have those conversations with you. And yeah, so that's this video. I thank you guys for watching. If you guys could like, comment, subscribe to all the things, and also just continue to support the channel. So yes, this is Tennis News Updates. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I thank you for watching.